What's up, everybody? This is Hush, aka How You Stop Him, aka Voice of Reason, aka Unstoppable Hush, aka No Noise, 418. It's another edition of Tell It How It Is, No Filter. This is episode 132. I think we're just like a month shy of fourth quarter. If we break down the quarters, 3 months, 4 sets of 3. This is the ending of the third quarter, as far as 2021 goes. Let's get right to it. Raising Canaan. Back at it after a week off. Because I was bugging out because I'm watching that show. You know, you don't have to favor it as your favorite show. It's about what shows are going on currently. Again, I mentioned before the selection of shows, but it's not biased that if there's shows that you love and like to watch, you know, continue to do so. Raising Canaan was off for a week. Last week was Summer Jam and 50, as I know, all of the power shows. They're calculated. You know, when there's an awards going on, any big events, I feel like he purposely pushes his stuff back. So I'm going to just jump out on a limb and say that's the reason there wasn't an episode last week, but it was back on this week in full flow. You know, because sometimes when a week off might mean they're taking a break, or you never know these days. So that was that. My Yankees. Again, if you watch baseball, you don't watch baseball. If the Yankees is not your team, that whatever, that's fine. Again, this is my platform. I choose to discuss whatever. But I do care who listens. I gotta get off that cocky arrogance. It's mine's. So I can do what I want. I mean, you can, but to the liking of the listeners. This streak ends at 13 games in a row. I wasn't up on it like that, I can't lie. So when I got wind of the streak, I think they were at 10 or 11. So I didn't even know. But this is an exciting part of their season, of this baseball season, because I think we're nearing playoff time. You know what I mean? Football's getting kicked off. But baseball, this is the part of the time that matters. You know, people who aren't into sports heavy, but they go to like Super Bowl parties and the NBA Finals is important. So I think baseball shouldn't be minus. You know, their playoff and their World Series thing is just as big. You know what I mean? So we're getting around to that. So that's why I mentioned that, and I thought that was dope. Rondo back on the Laker rumors. I don't know if it's solidified yet, but there's talks of him going back there. I mean, the Lakers are just... LeBron is just trying to make sure he get one more, huh? I don't know if that gets him one more, but it's a good look. Like, Rondo is a good piece to any team already powerful. Already, you know what I mean? Doing their thing. Because he only could bring more to the table. You know, he can't carry nothing himself per se. And at his stage and age in his career, I wouldn't expect him to. So let's see what happens with that Rondo rumor. This Kanye and Drake issue, I don't know it. I'm not in the industry to really know the ins and outs of it. But what I will say is, I don't know. I mean, it's a little more calculated and different at the same time. You know, we know the Jay-Z and Nas issues. We know about the 50 Cent and Ja issues. This is a different thing. And I don't even know, you know, how much energy are we supposed to really give it. But what is going on? And will it ever end? How did it really start? I don't even know. But what I will say is, I think Kanye leaked the address or was doing some real instigating type of things recently with his Donda concert performances everywhere. And by the way, if y'all think it's not out, there's ways to get it. I mean, I know he keep tweaking it, probably adding stuff, whatever. I already gave my input on it. But what I'm saying is like all these extra antics. I don't know if it's a strategy for sales or whatever he's doing, because we turn the cheek and say Kanye's been such a genius over the years, but he's also been a little wild. And some people entertain and encourage that behavior, and it's not for me to say whether or not he's totally out of line, but it's a little weird for me. You know what I mean? And it's crazier when I'm not even a Drake. I'm a Drake fan, but I'm not somebody that's coming to Drake's devices like that. Like, he's the greatest to me. I have him in my top artist. You know what I mean? He's in the top talks, but he's not my number one. So for me to say that means like what's going on is crazy, because I don't see what Drake did to even bring this on. And that tells you life, because I'm not saying he didn't do anything to egg this on, but I don't really see him, you know what I mean? He's not really responding and doing shit back. And again, that's life, because some people are just gunning for you. Some people just don't want you to succeed. Some people just got whatever issue with you for some fucking small shit like this. And so, like, unaware, and it's just a mental crazy thing to me, because again, I don't know, but I don't really see him respond. So will it ever end? Can it finally decease? And I guess we won't get a Drake Kanye versus because at this point, again, after the Locks and Dipset went, I don't know what you could tell me after that. I don't think I want to see another one. I'll stay tuned and see what they try to present to the people, but I don't get it. I don't see how they could top that one. So the rumors, which I hope aren't true, of the Instagram model Miss Mercedes Moore. I believe she's 33 years old. She has allegedly been robbed and killed. I so hope that's not true. And nothing has confirmed it for sure. Just a various posts of they wishing her, sleep in peace, rest in peace. There's a few posts out there involving this, and I just hope it's not true. I don't have her government name or even where she's from. I just know that she's an Instagram model, and they said her stage presence is crazy, and I don't know if she's a promoter too, but she has 2.6 million followers on Instagram, so she's doing something. And I don't see her in her bio, her having an OnlyFans or anything sexual like that. Not to knock the Instagram models and Twitter chicks that do. Y'all gotta do what y'all gotta do. I ain't knocking it. OnlyFans has become a big business thing. It's gone beyond the porn, because I think even there's no more like they put restrictions on it that you can't no longer porn on there. That's all I heard. I'm not 100. I don't understand how something that came from that can be taken away completely, but well, the world is crazy. All right, so I want to dig in. I'm trying a different angle. I didn't really try a different angle, but I widened the screen so I can't see the time right now, and it's bothering me. But I'm gonna get through this, and I guess I'll have to just guess the time. Frustration. How much can you take? Is it really simple to shake off once it hits mentally? AKA an off day. So, I've been doing all of these pods. I no longer need this. I've been doing these pods, and it's been mostly motivational to say, don't let nothing keep you down. Don't let nothing make you quit. Keep at it, keep at it. It's just a minor setback. Things that's great is on the way, and yada, yada, yada. You know what I mean? So if I spend most of my time telling you that, I don't know how often have I visited the understanding of nobody's perfect. Everybody has an off day, and everybody, can't just shake off shit. Sometimes it is frustrating when you have an issue, no matter how big or small, but it's bothering you, and if you address it to anyone, involved or not, they're quick to say, oh, if you can't control it, it is what it is, or don't sweat that. It's not a big deal. That's the part that probably frustrates you more because, again, what are they supposed to say? Unless somebody's going through the same exact thing at the same exact time, what do you expect them to say? I apologize if I ever did that type of thing and really couldn't relate to what you had going on. I also apologize into making it seem, if I ever did, that it's no big deal, that you could just shake it off. It can be a big deal in that moment. Now, we can address things as such to say, which I'm sure I've said before, that it's the letting it linger for too long is the issue. You know, nobody wants to sit and shit, not even for 10 minutes. But if you gotta, take a step back or a deep breath and you just, you're not on your A game today, that's all right. It's all right. Again, the advice is probably meant well, but you gotta get through it. I just don't want you to linger weeks, days, and that part. But if you happen to fall into a sunken place that has caused days to pass, weeks to pass, what do we do? That is very much easier said than done because the issue matters. What? I did this already. Money issues. It don't change overnight. It don't change over a week. For some, it may not change for months. Do we let this eat us up? No. Sometimes the negativity, sometimes the intaking that negative part of the issue can be used as fuel to get up out of it. Yes, advice given to you will say, it's just money. What can you do? It is what it is. That's not advice. If you're grown, should you even be looking for advice? You can. It goes back to the not being perfect part. But who really has answers for you? No one. Nobody has answers. What the fuck does anybody know? They know what they experience. They know how things should sound as they give it as advice. They know intent. And they can wish well all the hell they want. But what the fuck does anybody know? Only your experiences. And it's even harder to give advice to somebody who's already in this position, already at the sunken place, already not jacking it. If you have a life experience and you can see somebody heading towards that way, you might can stop them or advise in ways for them to prevent going there. That's all that is. So the philanthropists and the therapists and the psychologists and your peoples and your family, they don't know shit about once you're there. They may know. I'm sorry to be so harsh. But if you're already there, that's that part I apologize. Because it's like, I can't tell you don't sweat it, don't worry about it. You're already there. I'm being repetitive on purpose. The days and the weeks that, come on, shake it off. You can have your off day. You can have your don't want to be bothered day. I'm not digging this. Leave me the fuck alone. I need a minute. That's cool. I'm not going to put a certain time frame on it to say 24 hours or 72. But I don't want this to consume you for 7 days or longer. Because the thing is, and this is good advice, in my opinion. The thing is, the longer you sit in shit, the harder it is to come out the shit. Because now it's like, just picture it just getting all over you and the shower ain't going to wash that shit off. So, Pay attention to how long you're letting it get you. Because you can let it get you. The strongest of the strongest, the weakest of the weakest, have gone through shit. It's not so cut and dry as get over it, shake it off. Results need to be really solid. A game plan needs to really be developed for you to get up out of it. And I'm sorry, this is more harsh shit. Ain't nobody problem but yours. Even if you didn't cause it. Because being an adult comes with responsibilities of getting through shit that may not seem easy. That's the whole point. And the reason I say don't let it dwell for weeks and too many days is because you start to point blame, and this is where it goes left. You start to point blame in places that is not valid. Depends on the subject matter, but still. I don't want you sitting there saying, because of my childhood, I'm going through this. Maybe a piece of it can be blamed. Maybe you actually make some sense with that. But what the fuck is that going to do for you now, in this moment, that you have this issue? This is not a Disneyland Cinderella type of story. So again, excuse my harshness. I may be being more vulgar than normal, or maybe this is just how I always sound. But it's true. Nobody cares. If you have the higher belief in the higher being, that's who cares. I can't defend or force religion on anybody, especially on this platform. When you talk to me personally, which is what people don't usually know how to separate, this is a platform. Yes, this is personal because it's only me in this space. And this is only me doing this. And I am mostly coming from here and trying to be genuine. But as humanly personal as that sounds, this is still a platform that I show to the world, whoever watches or not. So there's certain things, talk to me personally off cam, and I'll tell you that religion matters to an extent. What percentage that is, whatever. But somebody is responsible for us being here besides who brought us here. Bottom line. And I'm going to just leave that there. But as far as getting through your issues, what you got? A significant other, kids. It's not the solution. The solution comes from yourself, from within. The people that do care, and I made it seem like no one does. I meant that in a mass majority setting, meaning like don't think you have like these dozens of people that give a fuck. The few that do can only take your mind off of it. Maybe you have a laughing moment, a smiling moment, a relaxed moment, but the issue will come back. And it's not their fault, because an issue that you have personally, you have to fix. You got to put your big boy pants on, and women put your big drawers on or whatever, because it's not easy. And again, when you really unpack it, it makes sense if people are depressed or not happy for a few. When you really tackle it like that, a lot of people avoid, try to ignore, try to just shrug off the fact that there's an issue that's there. And, they can go about their merry way, but then a few days later, it's knocking back at the door. So, yeah, to really let it consume you, again, the 7 days and longer than that is an issue for me. But if you're really taking this on head on by yourself, I understand. why you can't just shake it off right away. There are things that's done creatively by people who are in denial. They're just like, you know what? I'm going to go over here and have some fun to take my mind off of it. Ignore it. Let me sleep. Let me sleep numerous hours. Let me go to the gym. Let me get into other people's business and their issues so I can ignore mine. All kind of strategies out there, kid. And that's the world. So when I say you have an issue that you may want to share and see if somebody has the answers outside the few that care, they got their issues. And now you just entertain them to make them forget about theirs for a moment. Everybody got issues. Everybody. You know, social media and television have us feel like everything is hunky-dory with some folks. But some people have some deep, dark things that won't go away. Can't go away. Seems like it'll never go away. Now, if I bring back religion for just a second, you may say that hasn't gotten you through the issues. Again, even in the higher being talk, if I get religious, how consistent are you with whatever higher being you praise or you claim to praise? Again, once you're in the shit, not even the higher being is just gonna, what do you think? That, boom, like that, you out of it? It don't work that way. Even with the higher being. Because it's not about you. And that's also an issue you need to address. We live in this world together. We all share this motherfucker. So nobody's more important than nobody, no matter how social media and whatever you want to say decides who's important and who's not. Especially the government with middle class, low class, this class, whatever fucking class. We all share this world. So when shit happens or not happen, you're not the height of the attention. All that shit's fabricated and temporary. May last longer than the word temporary, but to me it's still temporary if you're somebody who lives 70, 80 years or more. You gotta find it yourself. You gotta find a way to dig out of it. And again, I'm being general here. I'm not picking. You know, I said the money thing is just because that always grabs everybody's attention. Money, 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 money. That grabs everybody's attention right away. But whatever it is, you got to find a way. And yes, whatever therapeutically works to not drive you fucking nuts, do that shit. But realize that it's not going away just because it's ignored. I want people to avoid very negligent type of things as well when dealing with these issues. You know, judgmental, I'm not. Should you drink your problems away? You can't. Smoke. All the etc. activities that can be done that's legal or not, or healthy or not. I can't judge on that, but I know that that's not taking the problem away. No more than just ignoring it is. So both parties are wrong. If you find somebody that's ignoring their issues, they're being nosy on other people's lives, imposing, even positive shit like the gym, those people are just as far from the solution as the ones who's doing drugs and drinking. You're just being healthier about it versus not so much healthy, but you still haven't solved the issue. So both people are not at the finish line or success point. You know, just one may live longer is all. And it ain't easy. You know, I'm repeating and because I'm getting ready to close out, but it ain't easy. And I understand that. And some people who give the advice that they give may understand that. but they're not moving and sounding like somebody who understands. Because a true person that understands, it's like when somebody passes, you lose a loved one. What are the calls? What's said? How's everything? How you holding up? How was that good? Like, how do you think I'm holding up? But it's meant to be sincere. Is there anything I can do? That might be the dumbest one. And I'm sorry, some people may love to hear that shit. You know what I mean? It may work temporarily for somebody going through that. But I don't want to hear what can I do, because you're not going to do. Even if I can formulate some kind of thing that you could do, you won't be able to do it. Am I all right? It's a little more subtle. That's a little more okay. I can handle that type of a question more so than what could I do. But that's just like that. When you mourn somebody, you need the time to mourn, correct? Do you ever really get over it? Probably not. It's a little... I don't want to deal with it. I won't say to put that on anybody as an issue that they can pick. But if that was an issue you can pick, mourning a loss, you can't really cheat your way out of that either. Like, you could get over that versus whatever you really got going on in life that you have to probably deal with for as long as you breathing. But a loss, you may be able to actually take that and control it at some point while you're still living, where it's not as consuming as when it first happened. So that's not a good comparison, and don't think that, that would get you out easier, because it depends on the loved one that it was. And again, that's just being like fabricated and making up fairy tales and think that you can have that as an only issue. It's not true. But that was a good try. I was just using that as an example that, people who you think care versus the people that do, they still really can't help you. They really can't. I'm talking about really get rid of this issue, really be out of that completely. Will begin and finish with you. You know what I mean? And that's the major point. And that's what I'm trying to break down here. Because whether you set it up or not, whether you're the reason that you're going through this or not, it's still for you to handle. And being a grown up ain't... People, for all the... Can you remember when you was a kid? Can you remember when you couldn't wait to grow up? If you said that, some said that. They probably won't admit it. A lot of us said that. I may have said that. But sometimes you said that in an emotional moment because of something you wanted to do that you weren't able to do because you still got to report to somebody. Now that you don't have to report to somebody, you still got to report to somebody, if that makes sense. We still, you know what I mean? You never, and that's how naive we were as kids. We thought that once we out of our parents or whoever raised us was grasp, that's it. No. And we were just ignoring the signs. We was ignoring what was told to us. Some of us ignored what was told to us, not everybody. But that's going somewhere else with it. But still, it's factors. It's a factor in this. And now that you're here, you got to eat it. You got to eat it. Sometimes you just got to eat the shit. You got to eat it. You're going to get through. That's kind of contradictory to this whole pod right now, right? You're going to get through. You're going to be all right, buddy. It's bullshit. Yeah, you may be all right. But you're not going to be all right because somebody said you're going to be all right. You're going to be all right because you're going to make sure you can do everything in your power to make sure you get over this shit. Get past this shit. The work is yours. Unless somebody really knows you in and out and says that, you know what, this person strives and grinds and gets down and dirty until the solution is had. You know, if somebody could like literally vouch like that, then fine. You know, you can take that energy and those words and use it as fuel Huh, but what am I using as fuel today? Just to be funny. But it's really not a laughing matter though. But you do what you do. I'm just telling you as closing, as repetitive as I've been, that don't let it get you 7 days or more, weeks. You know what I mean? If you got to put it to the side and come back to it, because it's not going. But I want you to work to get it going. I think you can do that. You yourself, not what somebody tells you, not just because I'm saying you're going to be all right, which I'm really not saying that. I'm saying that you got to go into you, the core of you, and figure out how the fuck can I get up out of this? Because it's really taking a toll on me. It's really leaving a bad taste in my mouth, in my stomach. And I need answers. But you got to do that. You know what I'm saying? Just dig deep. You know? I might put out, wow. There's a song I had, and I don't usually talk about the music, that is called You Gotta Do It. And when I made that song, I had no idea I would talk about this today, obviously. But I think I felt the same or similar in the whole how you get through shit and what you gotta do. You know what I'm saying? But I think I meant that musically at the time. But this is about your life. You know what I mean? So just try to lock in, man. Don't let it really get you for the time frame. You know, but I get it. And again, I understand when you're just not in the mood, when you just don't want to be bothered, when shit is just really overwhelming for a second. It's okay. Don't let social media and friends and people's lives that seem to be so glorious make you feel less because you're not there right now. Because everybody visits where you at. For the people right now that's not feeling 100, people visit where you at every day. They just lying, denying, and trying to act like shit is sweet. Everybody goes to that place. Everybody knows how to act. Be actors and actresses and pretend something is what it isn't. Everybody's good at that. Everybody went to friggin' school for it. So don't think you're less. We all in this world sharing the same air that the next motherfucker is. Whether you have $1 in your pocket and they have $1 billion, they can go tomorrow, so can you. And they're no more important with their $1 billion than you are with your dollar. They could just make moves and people could use them because they got that billion. Is that shit genuine? I'd rather have one friend and $1 than 1,000,000 fake friends because I got $1 billion. You heard me? And I'm gone. Y'all be safe.